Hello and welcome back. I am Nate T. Bird, and this is episode 2 of Castle Tower Defense Behind the Scenes. So in this episode, I will be going over the spawn wave system. So let's get right to it. So when you push this button to start a wave, it activates all of these command blocks. Now most of these command blocks set scores that then activate redstone devices remotely, but a wireless redstone for you. The first command block right here just tells you that you can't start a new wave if you already have a wave going. This score right here, the spawn wave score, that's just a dummy score that I made to test when the player is spawning a wave or not. So 1 being true, the player is spawning a wave, so if the player is spawning a wave, it'll tell them that they can't spawn a new wave. Then this other command block, this has to do with the spawn waves, so if they aren't spawning a wave, then have them spawn a wave. So set the score of spawn wave to 1. If it's 0, pretty simple, that just means that they're spawning a wave now. This command block right here it sets the score of game on to 1, so that allows me to check for when the player is actually playing the game. It allows me to activate certain aspects of the game only when the game is actually on. And then this command block just plays the sound. It adds a really cool sound effect, the wither spawn at a low pitch. It adds to the game. And then these other 2 command blocks we're going to ignore because they don't have anything to do with the spawn wave system. They actually have something to do with the game win system. So the rest of this device is in the spawn chunks right here. So this first hopper clock is just continuously activating this command block, which is testing to see if the game is actually on. So the score of game on has to be at least 1. And if it is, then this comparator will output true. It will invert this torch, and it will activate this clock. And this clock, it will just continuously activate this command block, which will test to see if the player is spawning a wave or not. So if they are spawning a wave and they are on at most wave 19, so once you get to wave 20, you can't activate this command block anymore. Then it will add 1 to the wave score. So if you're on wave 0, then you'll be on wave 1. If you're on wave 1, then you'll be on wave 2. So on and so forth. It just adds 1 to the wave score. And this bottom one resets the score of time. Time is a variable, is a score that I use to measure how long the wave has been running for and end it at the appropriate time. And this score is the timing score. It just sets also basically a remote activator, so it sets the score of timing to 1, which is right here, so it means that we are timing the wave. So when the timer is on, so when the score of timing is 1, then it will activate this 1 second clock, which will activate every 1 second. And every second that it does that, it adds 1 to the score of time. So that's how I keep track of how long the wave has been going. And it also activates this entire line of redstone. Yay! It's a big long line. But it's very modular. So this right here is one module. This right here is another. Just continues. Each one of these is for a different wave. So it continuously, every second, it just activates this, which activates this. So it's checking to see what wave you're on. And if you're on wave 1 and you are timing the wave, then it activates this command block. It activates this comparator, which then tells you what wave you're starting. It gives you your gold based upon your difficulty. So the difficulty score is a dummy score that I made just to track what difficulty the player is on. So the harder the difficulties give you less gold, the easier ones give you more gold. And if multiplayer actually worked, then it would give you gold based upon your multiplayer score. Then this comparator will continue through this redstone repeater and these 2 redstone dusts, and it will play these 3 sounds. All of them are just zombie say sound effects at different pitches, which makes for a really cool sounding growl that just notifies the player that the wave is starting. And it also inverts this torch, so it'll be continuously on, because this comparator, as long as this command block is not proven to be false, then it will continuously stay on, invert this torch, turn off this light, which will make it dark in this room. And so when it's dark, then this zombie spawner will be able to spawn zombies. So what this spawner is just a custom spawner. I've customized the NBT data of it to spawn the zombies with a specific amount of health, a specific knockback resistance, etc., armor, all of that. And it also spawns them at a specific position. So it spawns them on the obsidian block in the actual game. So when it's dark enough in this room for the zombies to spawn, then they will start spawning on the obsidian block. And I've also changed the spawn rates so that it spawns 1 every few seconds, which makes for a very nice, even looking flow of zombies. So it will this room will stay dark for as long as this command block is true. So, and this one will only be proven false when the score of timing is set to 0. And that happens once the time score is reaches 40. So after 40 seconds, basically, then it will reset the score of time, and it'll also reset the score of timing, so that this clock will stop working, which will stop adding 1 to time, and it will stop activating this line of redstone, which then, well, actually this thing just stays on, because the last time it was powered, it was activated as true, so this comparator remembers it as being true. So we have to activate it again. So after some delay, then we reactivate this line after the score of timing has been set to 0. So then this command block will output false, which will turn it off, which will stop the mobs from spawning. So that's the basics of the wave spawning system. You can ignore these other command blocks that we haven't gone over yet, because they're not for the wave spawning system, and we'll get to those in a later episode. So that is it for this episode. Thank you very much for watching. If you liked this video, then please leave a like. It's kind of redundant. If you like it, then like it, but it really helps me out a lot. And also, if you want to see more, then make sure to subscribe. It's always very muchly appreciated. So thanks again for watching, and we'll see you in the next episode. Thanks. Bye.